I'm Shiva.
I'm Sandy.
And this is
Our Relaxing Hobby. Hello.
Hi.
Today's episode is going to be about
Snails.
the bane of Shiva's existence.
Bane of any aquarium's existence.
I haven't had
actually.
snails in quite a while in my tank. I don't want any.
Oh, but you need plants.
I need plants, but I don't want any plants from you right now.
Yeah. Or the pet stores for that matter.
Yeah. I haven't had any. I haven't had to get any fish lately. And I need some plants, but we're gonna have to talk about that.
Okay. So basically, snails is a big problem, and you don't just get them like I do from getting plants in the wild or having plants outside. You can also get them from pet stores.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've had my last snail infestation was I purchased a plant from a pet store.
Exactly.
They're very easy to get.
They are. Snails, they multiply like crazy. There are some species that are born pregnant.
And the eggs are microscopic. You cannot see them.
Yeah, I mean,
trust me. You can rinse the plant off and think you got them, but some of the snail eggs survive. I swear. They
Oh, they do.
You can't get them off no matter how hard
It's
you clean.
insane. You can when you buy plants from a pet store, or even if you get them in the wild, you're going to be looking for this jelly-like substance on them. Those are snail eggs. And you can scrub your plants all you want. I guarantee you at least one or two little buggers is going to stick on there. And the next thing you know, you've got 500,000.
Right. Which we'll show you some footage of that later, but
oh yeah, no, we'll definitely
and there's
be
several
showing.
ways to get rid of snails.
There are some easier than others.
Right. Let's start with an easy one. Let's start with assassin snails. Let's start with that.
Snails.
Okay.
Okay, assassin snails.
There are good snails.
Yes, assassin
Sort
snails
of.
are good.
Sort of.
Yeah, Sandy doesn't like assassin snails. I love them. Assassin snails are
Murderers.
They are.
Carnivores.
They're the serial killers of the snail world.
Yeah.
They're named assassin snails because they go and eat other snails,
Right.
which we love. So,
But they will eat each other too. Don't get you wrong. Mine ate each other.
yeah, they will eat each other if they don't have anything else to eat.
No, they had others to eat. They just
they did?
decided to kill. The one decided to kill all the others off.
Okay.
So I'm not a fan of assassin snails, but they do work. They do work. They will kill the snails pretty quickly.
Yeah. Basically, if you can get assassin snails, they're usually a little bit, they're a little bit more expensive than a normal snail, obviously. I think they average maybe between $2 and $6 a piece, depending on where you get them. You want to try to get adults because the smaller ones aren't going to be able to tackle your bigger snails. But usually for like a 20-gallon tank, 2 will work. 55-gallon tank, you're going to want at least 6. Try to keep them apart. When you put them. When you put them in the tank, try to spread them out. They will eventually find each other, and they will do one of two things. You'll either fight or breed. Breeding's good. I've actually bred
I've seen the breeding ones in your tank. Mine hated each other's guts and killed each other.
Yeah, but they can generally clean out a mild to moderate infestation pretty quickly. The plus side to assassin snails, if you want them to breed, is that high protein diet. If you have a lot of snails in there, and they're eating all those snails, it's a high protein diet, and that's going to put them in the mood. So you could end up with a lot more assassins than you expected, which is not a bad thing. You can either, give them back to pet stores or hand them to your friends.
Before we go too much further in killing them, one of the reasons you don't want snails, or not a lot of these little snails that you get in the tanks from plants and such, is because they clog up your filter.
Oh yeah.
Is the biggest thing.
Problem.
Sorry, yeah. They clog up your filter, your pumps. They damage permanently damage it. They will shut it down. That's really the main reason that you don't want the little snails. Some people have big snails that clean their tanks because the big snails,
the apple snails,
they clean your tank really well. Those are not the snails we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about
I don't know what they're called.
Trumpet snails.
Yeah, they're little tiny.
The ram's horn snails.
Yeah.
There's a whole different variety.
Clarify that because there are some good snails. People like the bigger snails.
Yeah.
The little snails that literally clog up everything. But okay, go ahead. And then so there's assassin snails, and then there's what I like, which is the loaches.
Yeah. Now the other easy way, and this requires a little bit more care, are the loaches. Now the first thing I should mention is that loaches are not going to work on an outdoor pond. They come from South America near the equator, and we don't have any areas around here, even here in Florida, we don't have enough the type of climate that they need to survive outdoors. So you can't put loaches in an outdoor pond. You can, however, put them in an indoor pond, contrary to what pet store owners were telling me.
Right. See, I had yo-yo loaches, which you don't have. I had yo-yo loaches, and it's cute because they have a little yo-yo on their name. That's actually on their side. It's adorable. And they work great. But you have regular
I've got clown loaches,
which work as well. So
basically, anything in the loach family will eat snails. They love them. In our indoor koi pond, we've got a tribe of about 8 of them that live in the filter sumps and whatnot, and they patrol for snails all the time. I haven't had any problems. But that's an indoor pond, not outdoor. I recently bought 2 for my snail infestation in the pleco breeding tank. And my mother has one who can't get enough snails. I am literally taking snails out of my tanks and dumping them in my mother's tank.
He's hungry.
He's a pig. She swears he was licking his lips the other day when she dumped in like 2 dozen snails.
Pretty sad when you have to add snails to the tank to satisfy her loach.
Yes. But
they do work.
Yeah,
I mean, I like
really
the
well.
loaches. That was my preferred method when I would get snails.
Now the problem with loaches is they get big.
They can get big, yes. You have to kind of watch. Now, mine never got so big that because I had a 30-gallon tank. I had 2 loaches, and I had them for 4 years, and they never got too big for the tank. But they did get bigger than some of mine, because I raised guppies at the time.
Yeah.
They were much larger than the guppies, but the guppies held their own against them. Because loaches are semi-aggressive or aggressive, I'm not sure which.
They're semi-aggressive.
Yeah, they're kind of bullies. They will bully a fish, a gentle fish like a tetra. They will bully, because they did bully the tetras I had in the tank. But they didn't really bully the guppies, because the guppies went back after them. So.
Yeah, but loaches can get over a foot long if allowed to. Like I said, we've got a tribe of 8 in our koi pond, and the last time I saw them, they were already up to about 6 inches. I don't see them that often unless I'm working in the sump, and then they go flying out, and the koi chase them because the koi think they're funny. But they were about 6 inches when I last checked them. So I'm expecting mine to get over a foot just because of the space they've got and how much they can eat.
Okay.
I'm fully expecting my mother's to get over a foot with how much she feeds them.
Yeah. Now my loaches, when I ran out of snails, I didn't have to put more snails. They did eat the fish food.
They will.
So it wasn't, if you do get rid of all your snails and you don't want to get rid of the loaches because they're kind of fun to look at, regular fish food works for them.
Yeah, regular fish food.
Apparently her mother's doesn't like it as much as it likes snails.
Well, the reason why my mother gives
steals
is because he steals the food from the tetras.
Right.
So
yeah.
So she just thinks it's funny that we just take snails out of my aquarium and dump them into hers.
Right.
So those are the 2 natural ways to get rid of snails that are most popular. The less recommended would be chemicals because that can hurt your fish.
Yeah, I'm not big on the chemicals. They always scared me. There are things you can put in the water to supposedly kill snails that won't harm the fish.
Yeah, I call bullshit.
I never tried it, so I can't answer. I don't know.
Yeah, I call bullshit.
Like I said, I did the loaches and I did assassin snails, but it was such a horrifying experience for me.
Yeah, but when it comes to chemicals, basically anything you're doing to change the water chemistry is going to be harmful to the fish. I'm sorry, but fish need nice, clean, fresh water, which is why we do all these filters and why we, have carbon in there to clean them up. And then you want to dump a poison in there.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to work.
Right. And like I said, I can't answer to that one. I don't know. I've never tried it. I don't know anybody that has, so that's something you need to research on your own if you're interested. But our ways are natural and easy and safe for everyone except other snails.
Now, if you don't want to buy more animals for your tank and you don't want to deal with poisons, the only other way to really do it is to do a complete tank change, which means moving all your fish into a holding tank, cleaning out your aquarium. You need fresh gravel.
Yeah, you need fresh plants, fresh everything.
Plants.
And hope you didn't leave just even one. It's all it takes.
Yeah, scrub down your tank with water, leave it out for like 3 days to dry up everything that might be in there. Because it's very likely you're going to have snails attached to somewhere inside your tank, so you need to dry them out in order to kill them. And that's really the only other way to get rid of them. And
even that's not 100%, because
yeah.
I've seen it where, as a matter of fact, my sister did it. They did a whole complete water tank change. They changed. I'm pretty sure those dang things attached to the fish because they went out of their way to make sure everything was clean. And they did every recommended cleaning, and they put new gravel, they put new plants, they put new everything. Everything.
Yeah.
They put new filters in that had never touched water, and they still got snails within a couple months. They had snails had overrun everything with putting nothing else in there but the fish.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, basically, if you start noticing snails in your tank, you might get lucky if you can get the snails out immediately before they start breeding.
right.
Don't count on the fact that you caught it, but
Right.
you might get lucky. I mean, I have had a tank where there was just one solitary snail in, and we just kind of let it hang out there because there were no others.
I had when
But-
I had bought plants from the store not long ago, I had a few snails got in there, or, you know, babies or whatever. I don't know that they bred, but I did pluck them out right away, and for about 3 months, every couple months, I'd see one snail. And I'd grab that snail and get it out of there, and it took about 6 months, but after that, eventually there were no more snails.
Yeah.
But it really was like one or two, you'd see them occasionally. I just didn't leave them in there long enough, hopefully, to breed long enough, or at least not enough.
Yeah.
So I got lucky. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. I've done
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's just luck, though.
Yeah, think about snails as being the roaches of the aquarium wall. If
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
one, you're not seeing the other 100. So just assume
Yeah.
that
Assume
you've got a
that there's
problem.
more in there.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, like I said, I mean, you know, some people like the bigger snails. I've never had them, but they are beneficial. I mean,
Yeah,
snails
the apple snails are about the size of my fist.
Well, yeah,
So
when they
they're
get
not,
big, but yeah.
but they're not, well, usually the pet stores don't sell them until they're big enough to not get into a filter.
Right,
So
right.
you want,
if you're going to have a snail, which they do clean the tank walls, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, the
they
bigger
do.
ones, they do. I just, you know, I don't want one.
you know, yeah, well, some
Yeah,
people do.
yeah,
but
some people do.
some of them are neat. The big ones are neat, but really the small little garden variety snails, you want to keep them out of your tank.
Okay.
All right, so let's show them some evil snails.
Evil snails, and then
Yeah.
some assassin snails, which you don't think are evil. All right, let's do it.
All right.